WGCH, online 24/7 at WGCH.com. WGCH News Center time is 8:21. My pleasure to be joined in studio now by Greenwich resident Tish Rabe, a children's author who's written books for a long time, 20 years, and finally has a character of her own now, right? And Tish is going to tell us all about it. Good morning, Tish. How you doing?
Terrific. Thank you.
Great. Tell us, first of all, you've been writing. Tell us your history. You started 20 years ago, when your children were small, right?
That's right. I have been writing children's books for just about 20 years, and I have written over 80 children's books. But I have always been writing for other people's characters: Curious George, Cat in the Hat, Sesame Street, Disney. This is the first time, actually, that I've created a character of my own, the I Believe Bunny, and I'm very, very excited about him.
Tell us a little about the book. Came out, I Believe Bunny. This is a series, I Believe Bunny and Sharing with You, available last month.
Yes, the extraordinary thing is the books were released in July, and within weeks we had 50 reviews on Amazon.com.
Okay.
With a lot of blogging, and the response has really been very exciting and very positive.
Tell us a little bit about the plot of what's going on with the books.
What I wanted to do was, people are asking me why I named him the I Believe Bunny, and there's actually two reasons. One is that he believes in God's love, and he also believes in himself. And I grew up with the books of Beatrix Potter, Winnie the Pooh, and I wanted to create a really beautiful, comforting world that he lived in. So the series is going to deal with real challenges that preschoolers have, like sharing, cooperation, being a good friend, and we hope to build it out book at a time.
Okay. Now, I Believe in You, is that...
The I Believe Bunny, it just kind of introduces him.
Okay.
And then Sharing with You is the first book about a little challenge preschoolers have. And we also, on our website, IBelieveBunny.com, created songs for each book as well. So there's an interactive website at IBelieveBunny.com.
Okay. Are you writing the songs also?
Yes, I wrote the lyrics. I don't write the music.
Oh, okay, great.
But I worked with a local composer called Mike Levesque, and he wrote the songs with me. And actually, my children, who went to Greenwich High School, sing them on the website with me.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's exciting.
Now, these books, I mean, first of all, is it difficult to come up with plots and things? I mean, there are so many children's books out there. How do you come up with a different story?
There are a lot of children's books out there, and I think what really inspired me was to try to come up with a way to write these books in rhyme. Over the last few years, I have been writing Cat in the Hat books for Random House in rhyme, and I wanted to be able to take that and put it into a different context. So the lovely thing about these is they are in rhyme, and they are also beautifully illustrated.
Now, when your kids were growing up, you would read them your books, in essence.
I would.
What would they think?
I think when they were very little, they really got a kick out of it. Somewhere around middle school, I sort of lost them with reading these children's books to them all the time. But I really, when they were younger, I actually would have them read them aloud back to me and see if it was working. It was really very, very helpful.
Mm-hmm. And they probably thought that you wrote the books especially for them. Right?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, and you did, in a sense, right?
I did, and I have a house full of books to give them at some point. So.
And your books are written, though, for what age group?
I Believe Bunny and Sharing with You really are preschool books. They are what we call in the industry read-to-me books. What I really am hoping for is for parents and kids to enjoy them together. I've read them aloud to schools and churches, and they really do, because they're in rhyme, reading them aloud is a beautiful experience. Very, very nice.
How difficult is it to write in rhyme?
It is challenging. I have actually been doing it now for just about 20. Not all my books are in rhyme, but most of them are. And I've gotten so I can just tell as soon as I get into a rhyme whether it's going to work or not. And I've really had a lot of fun with it. The other thing about these that I love a lot is there's a little message in each one of them. And the end of I Believe Bunny says, you can make a difference, even a bunny your size. And I loved that idea of leaving everybody with just a little nugget of a message.
Right. And a religious message as well?
They are. We are very, very excited to be published by Thomas Nelson. It's a faith-based publisher, and they have been so supportive of this project. And we also think there's a lot of things we can do working with kids in churches and Sunday schools, and maybe we can write little plays and just expand the messages.
Do you ever have a problem that you don't start talking in rhyme?
Well, I talk in rhyme all the time.
You're talking rhyme all the time. What was it like writing books? You mentioned Clifford the Big Red Dog, Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat.
What were some of the other ones?
So I have written for Sesame Street. I've written for Disney. I have written for Blue's Clues, Bear in the Big Blue House. And it's a lot of fun. And I think over the years, I thought how much fun it would be to be able to create a brand new character in a brand new world and sort of build it from the ground up, which is what's exciting about this, because Thomas Nelson is supporting a series of books, so I can sort of expand and build. I was telling someone I'd like to introduce his Mummy and Daddy Bunny in the next book, so it gives me a lot of opportunities.
And so you're gonna have spin-offs.
I can have spin-offs, right?
All
The
right,
cast
great.
of characters can just increase.
And I guess with a large cast of characters, the storylines, you have more flexibility.
You have a lot of flexibility, and when I met first saw Frank Endersby's drawings, there's a lot of detail in these drawings. There are butterflies and snails and tiny ladybugs. That gives me, as a creative person, a lot of opportunity to build the world with them in it and stories about them. So I have a lot of wonderful characters to write for.
Wow, really stokes the imagination of the kids, right?
It does.
And you have to think like a kid too, don't you?
You do, and you do. You have to keep it simple. And one of the other things that means a lot to me is it has to have heart. A lot of the media today for this age group tends to get kind of hip and kind of cool. But at the end of the day, they're little kids. And I believe very strongly that there has to be some heart. It has to be a hug. And that's what I feel these books are.
All right, fantastic. So it's the I Believe Bunny series, and the name of the book is Sharing with You.
There are two. The I Believe Bunny introduces him, and Sharing with You is the first book on the ongoing series.
All right, great. Do you know how many books you're going to write?
We're going to write at least 6 and see what happens after that.
And how often do they come out?
I believe there'll probably be one a year.
All right, great.
Coming up.
All right, great. Tish, thanks very much for joining us. Very
Thank
interesting.
You. Thank you so much.
That's Tish Rabe. She is a Greenwich resident. Last 20 years, been writing for that long. And